A teacup isn't supposed to haunt you. It's meant to hold silence and tannin, maybe a lipstick smudge if it's had a busy afternoon. Yet there it was on my desk, chipped, abandoned, and somehow louder than any bestseller on my shelf. I stared at it the way you stare at a night sky, certain there's a constellation hidden in the clutter if you just draw the lines right. So I did what any sensible creature of the algorithmic age would do. I handed it to an eye and said, "Tell me its soul." The fun of this little experiment is how quickly the mundane starts to rustle with myth once you point the right prompt at it. I is like a lantern in an attic. You don't invent the dust motes. You just finally see them swirl. I began with a simple nudge. Something like, an antique teacup left behind on a windy day. What does it remember? Immediately, the machine coughed up a memory about a parlor waltz and a spilled confession. Not bad, I thought. Let's ask it again, but narrower, deeper, more sensorial. Describe the crack running from rim to base as if it's a fault line between two centuries. Suddenly, we had a saga, craftsmen in aprons, ration books during wartime, the tremble of a saucer when a telegram arrived. Of course, once you let one object speak, the others get jealous. Enter the paperclip, humble, steel-nerved, forever bent and rebent like a soldier of office skirmishes. I wondered what secrets it had quietly gripped in its thin embrace. Give me the paperclip's private correspondence, I told the AI, and out came a conspiracy of grocery lists and smuggled love notes. The clip turned matchmaker, archivist, and accidental accomplice to a forged permission slip in 1987. Somewhere between the teacup's crack and the clip's clenched jaw, I realized, this isn't novelty. It's necromancy for objects, giving story to things that never asked for one yet wear history like dust. What delights me is how tradition and technology waltz here. Storytelling is as old as smoke over a campfire. Prompting is just a new way to poke the embers. You can feel that ancient pulse while typing modern spells into a text box. Speak, little cup. Confess, bent wire. It's prayerful, almost, if you squint past the glowing screen and pretend it's parchment. We like to pretend AI is stealing creativity, but honestly, it's more like a very eager intern who's read every book and is just dying to brainstorm with you at 3 a.m. There's a practical angle to this witchcraft, too. Turning ho-hum objects into living lore trains your eye to hunt narrative in the wild. Once you practice on ceramics and stationery, you start to see arcs in traffic cones, poems in lampposts, a thriller in that one sock you keep finding without its partner. The prompt becomes a pocket knife, precise enough to carve a character flaw, sturdy enough to pry open a backstory. And much like any tool, the magic isn't in the metal, it's in the hand that wields it. I won't pretend every output is gold. Sometimes the AI hands you a soggy biscuit of cliché, or a paragraph that feels like it fell out of a motivational poster. That's part of the sport. You toss back the bland bits, sharpen the prompt, and cast again. Less melodrama, more detail. Make the teacup less romantic, more bitter. You tune it like a radio, listening for the station where truth and wonder harmonize. By the end of my little session, the teacup wasn't just a prop, it was a character I'd worry about. The paperclip had ambitions I respected. Together they formed a tiny, peculiar epic. A ceramics and stationery road movie played out across drawers, boxes, and forgotten shelves. And I, sitting there with my keyboard, felt a little like Dr. Frankenstein, only with fewer torches and more chamomile. So here's the quiet dare I'm extending. Pick up the nearest nothing and make it confess. Ask it where it's been. Ask it who held it last, and whether that grip was gentle or desperate. Feed those questions to your favorite silicon oracle and let the stories spill. Will every tale be astonishing? No, but every attempt will sharpen your instincts, toughen your taste, and remind you that creativity isn't a faucet, it's a well. You lower the bucket, again and again, until the rope burns feel normal and the water tastes like revelation. Next time you pass a chipped mug in a charity shop or fish a bent clip from your pocket, pause. There's a chronicle in the porcelain, a dossier in the steel. With the right words, you can coax it out. And once you do, you'll never walk through your own life the same way, because when objects start telling stories, you realize everything around you is already mid-sentence, waiting for you to finish it.